Welcome to the Pocatello Business Podcast, the only Pocatello podcast focused on providing profits for Pocatello people. If you love our town and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Pocatello Business Podcast with your friend, host, all-around great guy, and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
Okay.
About that.
We're back again with the Pocatello Business Podcast. I don't know what episode we're on now, but we're getting up there. It's starting to be a big deal.
It's on the news. It's a big deal.
That's right. We're on the news now.
Especially in southeastern Idaho.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, I am here with Jake Richards, owner of Oak Mountain Dental, Oneida Dental in Malad. He went to Weber State. Won't hold that against him since he's in Pocatello.
I apologize. I didn't graduate from there, if it makes you feel better. I don't have a degree there. But.
And then he went on to Dalhousie.
Yep, Dalhousie University
to get his doctorates in dental. Mm-hmm. And now he's back in Pocatello.
That's right.
Loving life.
Yeah.
Golfing when he can.
A little bit.
That's good. That's good. Well, say hi, Jake, to the people out there.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me on, Spencer.
Yeah, no problem.
This is new for me. I've never done anything like this before, so if it's awkward, I apologize, but it's okay.
They're used to me, so they're used to awkward. So, all right. So let's start off. Tell us a little bit about you, your family, your hobbies.
My family, I've got a wife and four daughters, just girls. That's all I've got. So, great. Love my family a ton. They're everything to me. So that's what I do everything for. Everything I do is meant to be with them. So love them. Love golf a lot and do a lot of outdoor stuff, sports, hunting, fishing. Grew up in Utah. Sorry again, but I did in northern Utah. It's almost Idaho. Grew up on a farm, started there, and eventually found my way here. So
awesome.
That's kind of where I'm at.
So what made you decide to, this dental thing is the way I'm going to go?
I'm going to turn down that phone.
You can answer that for
Business all the time. I don't know, at a young age, I just, actually my dad wanted me to get off the farm. He told me, you need to get off the farm. He says, we'll make a place for you if you want to, but with cousins and everybody else who's involved, he just kind of said, hey, if you can find something better, do it. So me and my brother and my sister were all decided to do something different, and I kind of took an interest in the medical field. Ended up looking at some different things, and dentistry was the most appealing to me because I get to actually do stuff with my hands every day as well, and kind of be my own boss when I choose to. So that's where it came from. Had a couple of good mentors when I was younger. Just a good dentist that I actually liked him a lot. I didn't go very often, not near as often as I was supposed to, but a really good guy. And he was kind of one of the people that got me into it a little bit. And then even before I was even in college, I'd already decided that's what I wanted to do.
That's good. I think everyone needs a mentor to kind of look up to kind of guide them in a little bit in life.
Yeah, I liked the way he lived. He was a really nice guy. He kind of did what he wanted to do. Sounded kind of nice, so I followed him.
Now, is it mandatory? Is it one of the last classes of the dental school semester that you're like, okay, this class is about golf? So all dentists have to learn how to golf.
No, but there should have been. I wish there would have been. I would have definitely taken that class, and I think I'd have done pretty well. That would have been a fun class for sure. But you're right, a lot of dentists golf, but I've got friends that are dentists that don't golf, and it drives me nuts.
That's rare, probably.
Yeah. When we go to CE courses, we're supposed to go play golf. That's what we're supposed to do.
Nice. I'm just jealous because I'm trying to be a good golfer. I'm horrible. So
well, let's go.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, what's one of the biggest mistakes? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. What's the biggest mistakes that people make besides brushing their teeth that they make with their teeth?
With their teeth? Well, obviously flossing.
Flossing, okay.
People do not floss.
Yeah.
And if they do, they think they know what they're doing with their floss, but they really don't. It's amazing, actually, how often people come in and they actually don't know how to brush. People just think as long as I'm scrubbing my teeth, I'm doing a good job. But it's amazing how often people don't actually know how to use the toothbrush properly, as well as know how to actually floss their teeth. But once you tell them, they're like, oh, wow, that makes sense. I should have been doing this forever. And you know what? Dentistry is to blame for it as much as anything. Like, we're the idiots that have taught people a lot of these bad habits,
sure,
or not corrected them the way that we're supposed to. So again, sorry.
So you're probably finding some week old AMC popcorn kernels.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that's a fun one. That's always interesting when you pull something out and the person says, "Oh, I haven't had popcorn in a week." Well, that's kind of gross, but it does happen.
Awesome. Well, that's good to know. Floss your teeth, people.
That's right. The right way.
That's right.
And if you need me to show you, I promise I will.
So what are some of the common myths about your industry?
Well, one, that toothpaste is actually the cleaning, like the best part of the cleaning, right? And also that you're supposed to rinse after you use toothpaste. You shouldn't do that stuff. But the one that I get the most, that it's not really a pet peeve, but it makes me laugh, but again, this is dentistry's fault, is that people come in and say, oh, I have TMJ. I'm sure you've heard that.
Yeah.
But guess what? We all have two of them. The TMJ is the joint, and you've got one on each side. So if somebody says I have TMJ, it's like, yeah, me too. I've got two of them. I hope you have two also, right? So it's actually TMJD. So it's a temporomandibular disorder or temporomandibular joint issue, as opposed to it just being I have TMJ. But again, that's what we say all the time. So whatever.
That's interesting. Well, you just said you're going to have to catch me on the bad habit here too. You said you're not supposed to rinse after you brush,
yes,
after you spit out the toothpaste?
Correct.
Oh, gosh.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because fluoride is the most important part of toothpaste.
Oh.
Plaque, the stuff you're supposed to be brushing off, that stuff you're supposed to every day. You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
I've heard that's
supposed to get that off every day. The toothbrush is the most important part. The toothpaste, it has a little grit to it, so it helps get some stains off. But the reality is, it's not like soap. Soap cleans your hands, right? Or hand sanitizer.
That's right. Some hand sanitizer.
Right. We get some of that. That is not the same thing as soap. Toothpaste isn't. It's more of just an abrasive than anything. So really, the fluoride in the toothpaste, then spit out, is the most important part. So if you then rinse your mouth out of all the toothpaste, you're taking all the fluoride out.
Interesting.
So, if you want to do it in the morning or whatever, if you're going to go eat right after anyways, I guess it's really not that much different. But before you go to bed, for sure, you would want to leave the fluoride in there as much as you can. Sure. I'm not saying leave your mouth full of toothpaste. I'm just saying that toothpaste, the fluoride in there, the more the better, the longer.
That's got to be a common mistake that people are making then.
All the time.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Well, you being a dentist, you're a doctor in the dentistry, you're not just a dentist, you're a business owner now too.
Yeah.
You don't have someone just running your business for you.
Right.
How did you walk me through that? How did that start for you? How did you get this thing started?
Well, it's really, that was one thing that I wish they would have talked about in dental school more, and every dentist should say the same thing, is they don't talk about business, and yet they're telling us to go out and be small business owners, and more commonly, it's a single practice thing, so it's all on you. And that's one of the reasons that dental practices don't do that well when it comes to the business end. Doesn't mean they don't know what they're doing in the back when they're actually working on you. It just means business-wise, they're lackluster. And for me, I actually lucked out, because when I went to dental school, after dental school and I got out, I didn't have anywhere to go specifically. I ended up going to a place in Kansas for 4 years, and I had the opportunity there to start up a practice. It wasn't technically mine. I was working in a health center serving underserved populations, specifically people that didn't have insurance and Medicaid
Sure.
and things like that. And I got to open and start the dental practice there. And so I kind of got to do a trial run with a heck of a lot less liability, right? So that was kind of nice for me to take some time and try to learn the business part of it while I was there also. And so really, I don't want to say I'm self-taught because I've had plenty of people around me, but I made the choice that I was going to talk to the right people. So I took that as a great opportunity to get it up and running, and learn from that. And then I knew I wanted to own my own practice. And so I had an opportunity to buy the practice here from the previous dentist, and I came, and more out of necessity is how I learned, because I realized, wow, this is, we have a big office and I have a pretty good sized practice, and I needed to figure out how to run it right, because not only does my family rely on what I do, but all the employees that I have rely on what I am supposed to do. My expertise is supposed to help them provide for their families. So I had to learn. I didn't really have a choice, but I've enjoyed it. Actually, in fact, the business part of it for me is kind of enjoyable, and it makes me want to do other things too.
That's good.
So,
what's the biggest mistake you see other dentists doing in business?
Well, honestly, it's probably just doing what they've always done.
Yeah.
Just always sticking in their rut and not trying to keep up with current advertising and current market things. And that's probably what I see the most, is that, well, it's always worked in the past.
Yep.
Let's just keep doing it this way. And again, I mean, business-wise, obviously in dentistry, the technology changes all the time, and you should try to keep up with it as much as you can, as much as you can afford to. Some of it's really expensive, but when it comes to the business part of it, there's changing things all the way. I mean, you see it all the time. This is not normal for dentistry. So, that kind of thing, I think that you do better when you keep up with that stuff.
Interesting.
I don't want to overdo it. Like, I think it can look bad if you're way overdoing the marketing and everybody hears you and they get tired of hearing you. But if they never hear from you, it's just people look on social media, so it's different.
That's true. And then do you think some dentists, do they get too focused in just the dentistry, and do you see other practitioners saying, okay, I'm not interested in that part of the business, I'm not good at that side of the business, I'm just going to hire someone to take care of that part for me?
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, it happens all the time, and that's an area where a lot of people are turning, is hiring companies to come in and do certain things for them, take over as much as possible. You have a lot more group practices and a lot more what are called DSOs, which is a dental service organization, where they do exactly what you're talking about, and they take over the entire thing and go that route. And that can be nice for those people that really want it. Sure. But for those that are more business savvy, you know what I mean? Yeah. They like it, they enjoy it. Yep. You know what I mean? And I think it's a good way to go. But there's definitely that whole demographic each direction. And it's, not wrong or right, but if you're more interested and just more dedicated or whatever towards just wanting to focus on just dental and don't really have a mind or an interest for business, that's definitely the way to do it. It is. And it's just a trade-off. Yeah. What do you want to do? Like, if I'd rather not think about it at all and go home and do nothing. That's right. Just have nothing to do with it, then that works. But if you kind of enjoy it, you want to see what you can do with it. Yeah, there's the other. So it's a trade-off, because you got to pay for it. Oh yeah. So either way you look at it, it's just a trade-off. As long as you're looking at that monthly P&L, you're still gonna have your eyes on that. So that's right. No matter who's watching your books. That's right. Your personal one. That's right. Because all business owners do it. Like I personally have a bookkeeper. I'm an accountant because I don't want to learn the tax codes. I don't want to, categorize every expense or all that kind of stuff. Like, I want to be able to think on the creative stuff, just like you probably want to think and focus on fixing people's teeth. So maybe that's another really great point that you just made up or brought up, was the fact that you have those things, because people have people that do their taxes for them, but you have an accountant that you can call and trust that actually is thinking about your business and your industry, not just your numbers on a page. And I think that's something I've noticed that a lot of dentists haven't done, is they haven't got that great of a support structure around their business that they feel like they have multiple people they could call and get advice from that they trust would actually give them advice for their business without too much bias. You know what I mean? And that was definitely a big part for me when I moved here, is I found a couple of good people that, I found a financial advisor as well as a really great accountant. And I talk to those guys all the time still about different things, and they definitely are benefits. So,
We just had Daniel Packard on the show.
Did you really?
Yep.
He's my accountant.
Yeah, we share the account. Guy's brilliant, and that's what we talked about, was building that support group.
You had him on here?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that one.
We just on.
I'm going to have to just barely.
This will be released later, but it was released this week.
Oh, gotcha. So, dang, I have to go back and see that one.
Time to catch up.
He's the guy that I started out with when I was here. I was one of his very first dentists. He tells me.
Nice.
He might be fooling me full of crap. Dan, I don't know. You tell me. But anyway, I like Dan a lot. He's a good guy. He's solid. So
he's good.
Between him and the other people he has working with him, I work with Mackie Barker as well.
Yep, me too.
It's been really good.
Well, good. There's a little Cooper Norman shout out there. So.
Yep, I like him.
Perfect. So you're saying that most or all dentists just don't go home after treating a patient in golf? That's what you're trying to say? There's more to it than that?
I don't know. I think some do, because I see them out there all the time, but I know I don't get to. There's definitely other things going on. I would love to come at 8 o'clock and leave at 5 o'clock, but unless something happens, I don't ever get to do that. That's not how it is, and you can ask my wife about it. And so, I'm usually here for a bit longer than that. It's better than it used to be, and it took a long time to get there, but again, that's training of my staff and support structure around that take over certain things so that I can get out of here a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
So. And I do only work 4 days a week now. But there was plenty of time where I was working 5 days a week and putting in a lot of hours. Because even though I'm only working 4 days, I guarantee I'm getting my 40 hours.
Hey, it's a Friday and you're still working, right? So this is
going
good.
Toward. Well, I'm charging him overtime.
That's right. So what's one thing you wish you would have known starting out that you know now?
The business end.
Just the business
end.
For
sure. Can't really think of anything else specific, but to be honest, just wish I would have had a little more business training earlier, because I've been a dentist for 11 years. I've been out of school for 11 years, almost right now, during graduation right now. So it's been a while, and it's taken me quite a while to catch up on a few things. I mean, I feel like we're doing well, but it would have been nice to have a bit more of a head start there.
Yeah.
So, that would have been helpful for sure.
It's good to know. Is there any general advice you would give some of our listeners on just business pitfalls that you would watch out for as you're getting started, or as you're continuing to grow a successful business?
I go back to the support structure around. You've got to have other people. You cannot run a business and stay sane and do it all by yourself and feel comfortable. There's just certain things that is not your profession that you should hire somebody else to do. And I'm a tightwad, and I grew up on a farm, and we fixed everything. We did things on our own. Yeah. So, the fact of even somebody changing my oil for me drives me nuts, right? But it's not a good use of my time if I could be in my office working and doing what I know best. So in any case, having a good support structure, good accountant, good advice from other people. A lot of people don't do that. They try to do it on their own, and they don't realize that really time is money, meaning their time should have a lot of value. I feel like my time has a lot of value. So whether I'm working on a patient or I'm home with my family, the time has a lot of value. And if I can have that time where I want to put it, to me that has a huge advantage for me. So I'd say that people need to have a good support structure around them, and not just throw money at a wall doing the same advertising that everybody's done forever. There's so many different new ways of podcasts, Facebook and all those different accounts that you can do, which I'm not even all that familiar with. I just know you can do them. But I have people to help me do it, so that we're doing it the right way instead of just the way it's always been done.
I like it. So balancing your time.
Yeah.
Get your support group.
Yes.
I think I need you to talk to my wife, because she goes off on me because I don't know how to even swing a hammer. She wishes I was more of a contractor, which I'm not. So Callie, you're watching this, cut it out. So
you just got to have good friends around you, right? I know you've got a few.
Well, no, it comes down to, hey, you make money. Yeah. A good friend of mine said, if you have a problem that requires money, and you have money, you don't have a problem.
There you go.
I'm still working on the money part.
But it's true though. I mean, again, if it's going to take you 10 hours to do what one other person, it would only take them 2, 3, 4, even 5 hours. If they can do it half the time or better, how much is that worth to you?
Yeah, and it's not just the time, it's the sanity that I save.
Oh, yeah.
Because I still have all my fingers. Yeah. They're not smashed in with hammers.
And from your wife's point of view, if you're the one that messed it up, you know you're in way bigger trouble than if somebody else messes it up.
Exactly. So she's remodeling her kitchen right now, and guess how many pointers and tips I've given her? 0. Because if it messes up, it's all on her.
This is the safe zone.
This is the safe zone, so I don't watch this episode.
Right.
Anyways. All right. Okay. Let's catch up here now. Get off topic.
Okay.
All right. What's one of your things that you're curious about right now?
In dentistry or in anything?
Just take your pick. Start with dentistry first, and then go to
because I might need some time on general. I don't know. I'm curious about in general off the top of my head, but dentistry actually, this is gonna sound really cheesy a little bit, but actually I kind of want to do Botox and dermal fillers and stuff like that. It actually has a lot of medicinal purposes as well for temporomandibular disorders. Not just TMJ, but for disorders of the jaw joint as well. You can do that. A lot of people don't realize what Botox is. Some people do, but it's literally paralysis of a muscle.
Yeah,
that's what. It's botulism.
You can tell when people have too much because there's
when they
there's no movement.
Yeah. So when they try to move their forehead and the forehead doesn't, that's the muscles that are not firing. So when somebody has a lot of stress on their joints, you can use Botox for stuff like that. But I like the cosmetics of dentistry as well. I really like doing a lot of that stuff. I enjoy trying to exceed people's expectations when it comes to cosmetics, because a lot of people don't think that they don't think somebody could do something with their smile. They hate their teeth and they want to do something different. So I love the cosmetic stuff, and Botox is another one of those things that I'd like to do. But it kind of comes back to the business management thing too. Is the more I try to do and try to get crammed in a certain amount of time, I want to be really good at the things that I do. So I don't want to just kind of do something. So if I have time to do it, or if things change, then I want to take on more stuff. But that's something I'm kind of curious about right now when it comes to dentistry. In life, I don't know what I'm curious about.
Let's switch the gear then. What's another profession that you would try out if you did it over again?
Honestly, actually, financial advisor.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like talking to people about different things like that, trying to help them figure out how to change what they're doing, because people honestly in general are extremely inefficient with their time and their money. And that's again, I'm looking at my dad right now. I'm actually in the process of trying to get my old man to go and get some stuff taken care of that he hasn't done, and he's retired now, right? And these are things that I did a little while ago already, and he still hasn't. So again, it's somebody like that. I wish I could help him figure out how to take care of some stuff before it's a problem. If you wait till it is a problem, that's always way worse. But if you can get on it before a problem. So that's kind of interesting.
That's a good one.
It's not really people might think.
So what I'm hearing you say is, to be effective in business, box out your time, save some time for the money-making activities.
Yep.
Have some time for your family. You gotta have some fun in there to have a balance. Get that balance going.
Yeah. And you decide what the balance is, because it doesn't need to be exactly the same. You know what I mean?
Nope.
Maybe, and I think we have this backwards in our lives, is that we want to work our guts out so that we retire early. When in reality, I have kids. So to me, it makes more sense to actually work less now if I can, spend the time to my kids. And then when they're out of the house, then maybe I continue a little longer because I don't have anything else to do.
Nice.
So why wouldn't I kind of switch the model that way a little bit instead of just trying to work my guts out so I can retire when I'm 50, 55 just to say I did, and then do what? Maybe I want to still live a little bit with my kids, so I actually would rather work less now and work longer than retire too early. But don't get me wrong, I still would be okay retiring early too. So it's still a goal, but I've tried to switch gears a little bit. I have a daughter who's 14 and she's gonna be 15, actually maybe by the time this airs even. Her birthday's coming up. Anyway, so she's not likely to be in my house a whole lot longer, and that kind of freaks me out as a dad. So I need to make sure I'm focusing on my family. So my balance could be a lot different than somebody else's, but you got to balance it the way that you really, really want, not how the world tells you to do it or what business tells you to do, how you want to do it.
I agree.
Is that too much?
Couldn't be said better.
too much.
I love that. No, that's perfect. That's right on. That's everyone that's starting a business or in business now should listen to that. Let that marinate and put it into action.
It only took me 10 years.
Yeah,
no big deal.
It's taken me a while too. So, okay, well, we're wrapping up here. So, the tradition in our podcast right now. What's your favorite local restaurant to eat at?
I don't know if I have just a favorite right now. We'll finally get to go. I don't care, any restaurant. But actually, I really like Sandpiper Steaks. I just do. If I'm going to Sandpiper, I need a prime rib or a ribeye. It's just what I got to do.
Can't go wrong with red meat.
Yeah, so I got it. It's just what it is.
Well, perfect. Well, Jake, where do the people find you if they want to come see you or schedule an appointment with you? Where do they find you?
So we're, I said Oak Mountain Dental. We're here on the corner of Oak and Yellowstone. Technically, the address is 135 Warren, right across from the Real Theater. Everybody knows where the Real Theater is, so we're right next door to that. Everybody thinks it's a restaurant. It's not. It's a dental office. It was built to be a dental office. That's where we're at, though, right here in Pocatello. Phone number is 208-237-6453, and the ladies up front can get people in. We try to get people in within a week when it comes to new patients for basic stuff, but we do have, emergency exams and things like that as well. We're good and busy right now where we're just getting out of the whole COVID stuff, and so we have a lot of backlog, but we're still working hard to get people in and putting in a little extra effort, a little extra time to get that stuff done. So
sure.
That's where we are.
Cool. And if you're heading to Malad,
yeah, actually I have another office down in Malad. Opened that a few years ago, 2006, just from scratch. It's at 150 North Main, South Main. Oh crap! It's right next to if you're from there, you don't say the address. Nobody knows the address. Is there?
Small town.
So yeah, it's right next to Thomas Market. In fact, it's in the old Thomas Market. So it's right in the middle of Malad. You're coming off the freeway, go down the stop sign, take a left. You'll see it. It's right there.
Perfect.
So another office down there that we have going to.
Well, Jake, thanks for being part of our show today.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I'm glad I got to do it. I'll have to do it again if that's okay.
It's getting better. I'm getting better. I'm not Joe Rogan yet, but it's going to happen sometime.
Yeah, I wanted to get on early before he's big time and starts charging us to do it. So
I don't think that'll happen, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I appreciate you being on the show. If you want to come see him over here at Oak Mountain Dental. And until next time, thanks a lot. Have a good one.
Thanks. Thank you.
Congratulations on spending a couple minutes getting just a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Pocatello business community. If you are feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.